paranormal activity, the appearance of strange cryptids and other monsters of time and space.
Some of the most shocking encounters with extraterrestrials didn't happen in deep space or hidden laboratories. They happened in plain sight.
The object was likened unto a cross, although the inner parts were something similar to the points of a compass, and they were quite blurred, the inner parts of the cross.
In forests, schoolyards,
We saw this like a silver thing down there. It was a silver oval thing that flew past really slowly.
and military zones.
So the fact that there was a triangle UFO on this aircraft carrier, that really sent the UFO community into a frenzy.
These are the discoveries people tried to forget, but they were caught on camera anyway. A 22-year-old forestry worker named Travis Walton was heading home with his team after a long day. As they drove through the woods, they noticed a strange light in the sky. Moving closer, they saw a metallic disc hovering above the road.
I noticed some little glimmers of light coming through the trees. The light seemed to be coming from higher than where ground level would be.
Travis stepped out to see it better, but a sudden beam of energy hit him, throwing him backward. His friends panicked and drove off.
They said it seemed like something was about to happen, and it was.
Travis later found himself in an isolated room staring at strange, non-human faces.
I don't know whether I came to soon after I was taken aboard, but I knew I was on some kind of an elevated gurney or operating table. I was looking straight into the face of this creature.
He was missing for days. What he saw up there changed everything, and when he returned, his life was never the same again.
There are many stories of these abductees. You see these non-human looking extraterrestrials, these greys, who then are replaced by beings that look human. And this seems to be extraterrestrials using this shape-shifting ability to make it look as though human extraterrestrials are there.
Flight mystery. Something strange was seen high above Oregon, and it wasn't just one person who noticed. One after another, 4 pilots contacted air traffic control, their voices clearly unsettled.
Had another one show up about my 1 o'clock, about 1,000 feet high, zipping towards us and then back out towards the ocean.
Bright, circular red lights were speeding across the sky, moving in ways no known aircraft could. The controller's calm reply was short but unforgettable. Avoid the UFO. That entire radio transmission is now available to the public, and once you hear it for yourself, there's a good chance you'll stop doubting the connection between these sightings and what the government might already know.
I don't even know how to describe that fast. It's more than 661 on the Fox.
Typical Nib Foxtrot, Roger. You are cleared to maneuver as necessary, left and right to avoid the UFO out there.
Uninvited watcher.
Independence Day is now associated with alien invasion. Recently, one of our very own viewers says he saw more than just fireworks on July 4th. And he sent us a video that has us asking, are UFOs somehow attracted to colorful aerial explosions?
John Lopez and his family stepped into their backyard expecting fireworks, but something else appeared above them. Strange glowing orbs floated in the sky. Some blinked in and out, others hovered silently before vanishing without a trace. This wasn't the first time. The same lights had shown up the year before. Experts ruled out planes, lanterns, even drones. None of them matched the way these lights moved across the sky. Whatever they are, they keep coming back almost like they're drawn to the noise, but staying for something more.
Our experts can only say these lights might be drones, but they can't be certain. So for now, our verdict, these are genuine UFOs.
Mystery over Carolina.
Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing flying in the sky?
People in a North Carolina town were caught off guard when something strange appeared in the sky. At first, it looked like a plane falling out of control, but the more they watched, the clearer it became that this wasn't a plane. It looked like a burning spacecraft, flying low, fast, and dangerously close, as if it were moments from crashing. But instead of hitting the ground, it shot across the sky and disappeared without a sound. No wreckage, no return. Whatever it was, it moved like it had a mission and no time to waste. Desert.
to get him up and get him moving. This is not going to help. He's cold.
The Mojave Desert was still and quiet. Then strange lights appeared above giant rock. Glowing orbs hovered in the sky, calm and silent. They floated in small groups, steady and controlled, with no noise at all. The scene felt unreal. One by one, the lights began to fade. No flashes, no smoke, just gone. The moment was caught on camera and later posted online. That's when the guessing began. Some called it secret military tech. Others were sure it came from beyond Earth. Whatever those lights were, they showed up without warning and disappeared like they were never there.
No, it just disappeared.
We're here with you.
They're disappearing.
They're here.
Indiana sky.
There's another one right there.
I know.
The night sky above Kokomo, Indiana, was calm until something strange interrupted it. Just south of Grissom Joint Air Reserve Base, a group of yellow-orange orbs suddenly appeared in the sky. Locals watched as at least 6 glowing objects hovered in the air, not scattered randomly, but in a loose formation. They flickered brightly, held their position, and seemed to react to one another like they were moving with purpose. Some lights shifted spots, others blinked in and out, and then, one by one, they vanished without a sound. Many believed it was a fleet of UFOs. Whatever those orbs were, they didn't act like flares, drones, or anything familiar.
I don't understand what those are.
Ruwa School Encounter. 60 children in a school in Zimbabwe had to visit healthcare because of the strange event they witnessed. They claimed they saw a UFO just beyond their playground, but that wasn't all. They said they saw strange beings step out of the craft figures with large eyes and unusual heads. The most shocking part? These beings weren't speaking any language. They claimed the messages weren't spoken, but shared directly through the mind, warning children that the Earth could face destruction if humans didn't change their ways. Now, years later, some of those students are adults, and they still remember every detail like it happened yesterday.
The eyes, and in that moment, however long it was, because I have no idea of the time frame, it was mesmerizing.
I kept getting these thoughts and ideas in my mind of technology. Technology's not helping, technology's bad.
Bayside panic.
It involves talk of alien sightings at Bayside Marketplace.
Chaos broke out at Bayside Marketplace in Miami. Dozens of teenagers got into a massive brawl, were set off. But the real twist came later, when videos started appearing online. Blurry clips showed tall, dark shapes moving between parked cars and blending into the shadows. Some viewers claimed they weren't human at all, describing the figures as 8 to 12 feet tall, thin, and fast-moving. One person swore they saw 5 figures, describing their movement as smooth and otherworldly. No clear footage has proven anything but that night. Many people walked away believing they saw something more than a fight. Landing site.
Southern England is the site of the famous Rendlesham Forest incident of 1980. Sightings of unexplained lights in the sky that became known as Britain's Roswell. So did Ben stumble upon the footprints of a British UFO? Or something we can't even guess?
A landscape gardener, Ben Landracombe, went camping deep in the woods of Devon, England. After walking 15 minutes into the forest, he noticed something strange. An oval-shaped clearing surrounded by dense trees. It wasn't a normal patch of open land. Trees were blown over in a perfect circle, while others stood untouched right beside them. No logging equipment, no signs of a crash, just a massive, silent scar in the woods.
To me, whenever I see something like this, I think of things like crop circles, because they are just really pushed down with some force. It doesn't look natural.
Ben believed he had stumbled upon a UFO landing site. Experts suggested it could have been strong wind, a microburst, or storm damage. But Ben couldn't forget the strange energy he felt in that forest.
It's definitely a mystery, and who knows what it could be, but I've never had an answer back to me straight saying what it is. So I'll still believe it's a UFO landing.
Woods Encounter. While exploring the woods in Peru, a man experienced something truly unexpected. Out of nowhere, 2 UFOs appeared in the sky above him. They hovered low, moving slowly, almost like they were scanning the area or searching for something. Shocked and afraid, the man quickly hid behind nearby trees and watched in silence. The objects floated above the forest for several minutes. Thankfully, they didn't notice him, because if they had, the outcome could have been very different. That quiet moment in the woods turned into a mystery he'll never forget. Alaska Visitor.
It was like a starship. The thing was huge. Probably 1,500 to 2,000 feet long, probably 400, 500, 600 feet across, probably 300, 350 feet in air.
One quiet night in Alaska, a fisherman stepped outside only to be shocked in disbelief. Hovering above his home was a massive, glowing object shaped like a starship, completely silent and stretching across the sky. He wasn't the only one who saw it. By the next morning, hundreds of people from the same town had called into a local radio station, all reporting the same thing.
Hundreds of people saw it. Strange lights over Cook Inlet. The lights would hover, they would move, they cast reflections on the inlet waters. It was seen by hundreds of people.
A giant UFO with blinking multicolored lights had floated above their town for minutes, then vanished. Some believed it was a sign from another world. Others were simply left wondering why no one ever explained what they saw that night.
Any single person can be mistaken, but when, there's all the citizens who live in the bluff are reporting the same thing, you have to give it some sort of credibility.
Drone mystery. For several weeks, strange drone formations were seen flying across eastern Colorado and western Nebraska.
Grand Island, Nebraska right now. This drone is right here. Molly, come here quick.
They appeared in the sky almost every night, often flying in patterns, sometimes in groups. Locals watched in confusion as these drones moved quietly, with no clear purpose or explanation. No one knew who was operating them, where they came from, or why they kept showing up. Even officials had no answers.
Have gotten concerned about these reports of drone sightings, and we just, along with our federal, state, and local stakeholder partners, want to get to the bottom of it and find out exactly what's going on.
With no confirmed owners and no explanations, these silent flights left many people uneasy and still wondering who was really behind them.
Definitely raises curiosity because it's something I've never seen either. Patrolling the county, it's dark and you see stars all the time. You see something in the sky that looks different. Definitely raises curiosity.
Officers encounter.
PC Willie, you were driving the patrol car at the time. Can you describe it to us?
Well, the object was likened unto a cross, although the inner parts were something similar to the points of a compass, and they were quite blurred, the inner part of the cross.
But it was brilliant. Brilliant white, brilliant light.
2 police officers, Roger Willie and Clifford Waycott, were patrolling near Oakhampton when something strange appeared in the sky. A glowing object was hovering above the landscape, moving in sharp, unnatural ways. It didn't blink like a plane or drift like a star. It stayed still, shifted position. Both men felt like it was watching them. They followed the object for miles.
We saw it was when it was just above treetop height and ahead of us, and from then Consul Willie just said, here we go then, and we drove off after it, if you know what I mean.
What kind of speed were you traveling at?
We were traveling very fast.
But it disappeared without leaving a single sign behind. Their official report caught national attention, and even today, it stands as one of the clearest early sightings made by trained eyes. Alaska Hidden Power.
We have paranormal activity, the appearance of strange cryptids and other monsters of time and space.
There's something truly strange about the region around Mount Hayes, Alaska. Locals and travelers alike have reported glowing lights, flying saucers, But what makes Mount Hayes so mysterious? In 1995, declassified CIA files revealed a secret project named Stargate, linked to this exact spot. Some researchers claim an alien base lies beneath the mountain, just 130 miles away, under Mount Denali. A massive black stone pyramid, now called the Dark Pyramid, was detected underground.
Dark Pyramid is this massive pyramidal structure under Mount Denali, which is said to be twice the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza and made of black stone.
One man's father, a skilled engineer, said he'd been inside it, where powerful energy was being monitored enough to power Canada. Whatever's hidden beneath Alaska's frozen soil might be far older and far more advanced than anything we know.
And the father tells the son, who got in touch with me, we are measuring energy coming out of this pyramid that is enough to power the entire country of Canada.
Still and strange. The sky over a Nevada town didn't seem unusual as a red light appeared and refused to move. It hovered low, glowing steadily, and didn't look like any plane or drone. There was no sound, no flashing, just a silent object holding its place in the air. It felt strange, like it didn't belong. A traveler passing by captured the moment on video and posted it online. That's when people started debating. Some said it was a UFO. Others called it a visitor from space. No one could agree on what it was, but everyone agreed it wasn't normal. Top floor visitor. The streets of New York were busy as always, but above the noise and movement, something unusual hovered in the sky. A man sitting in his parked car looked up and spotted a bright light above the tallest building nearby. It didn't flicker or shift. It simply glowed, steady and silent. Inside that light was something clear, a UFO, calm, unmoving, and watching. No idea if it had come for the building or was just using it to observe the city. Either way, it didn't stay long. Before anyone else could react, the light faded and the sky returned to normal. Mystery over forest. A strange video appeared online from an unknown source showing a massive glowing UFO hovering silently above a forest. The only detail shared with the clip was its location, Germany, sometime in the early 2000s. The footage shows the large object floating steadily over the treetops, lighting up the area beneath it. No one knows who filmed it, but the reactions online were mixed. Some believed it was a real spaceship that arrived quietly, observed everything, and left without a trace. Others suggested it might have been part of a secret government program. Military breaks silence.
Defense officials telling lawmakers they have some 400 reports from military personnel of UFOs or UAPs.
This is the insane clip when, for the first time in over 50 years, defense officials spoke openly about UFOs, now called UAPs. It happened inside U.S. Congress in 2022, when experts confirmed that over 400 sightings have been reported by military personnel, many involving unknown objects flying dangerously close to aircraft. Some were fast, others hovered, and many defied explanation. Officials said these objects are a real concern not just for safety in the skies, but for national security. While some sightings may have simple causes, many remain a complete mystery. Whatever these objects are, the government now admits they're watching, and they're real.
There is something there, measurable by multiple instruments, and yet it seems to move in directions that are inconsistent.
Strange object. Out in the woods, far from city lights, a camper had been scanning the sky when something strange crossed his line of sight. It wasn't a star. It wasn't a plane. The shape was off, and the blinking lights inside it made it feel even more out of place. He kept watching, trying to track it. Then, without warning, it disappeared. Maybe it shut off. Maybe it left. Either way, it left no answers, just a strange gap in the sky where something shouldn't have been. Florida beach. One evening in Florida, beachgoers were enjoying the view when something strange began to unfold. At first, everyone thought it was just normal lighting in the sky, but then they noticed something unusual. Bright lights were blinking again and again at the same spot, almost like something was hidden there. Soon, a glimpse of a cylinder-shaped UFO appeared, confirming what many had started to suspect. It didn't move fast or fly away instantly. It just lingered there, almost watching. Maybe it wasn't a random moment. Maybe we've been under silent observation all along. Skyline Encounter. Midway through the flight, something unusual appeared just outside the window. One of the passengers happened to be looking out at that moment. What he saw wasn't a plane or a reflection. A disc-shaped UFO was floating beside the aircraft, moving at the same altitude. It didn't make a sound and kept its distance, steady and calm, like it wasn't trying to hide, but also wasn't trying to be seen. From the ground, no one would have noticed it, but from that window seat, the view was clear. That one moment changed how he saw the world, and it's something he's never been able to forget. Disc by base. Junlin Batalak was driving near a military base in Australia after dropping her mother at work when she noticed something unusual in the sky. A disc-shaped object was silently moving not far from the base, with no sound or clear explanation. She quickly recorded the strange scene on her phone and later uploaded the video online. Many viewers were convinced it wasn't an ordinary aircraft. Some thought it could be a secret military craft, while others believed it was not from Earth at all. To this day, no one has explained what Junlin saw that morning. Eclipse Visitor.
What is that?
Crowds had their eyes on the sky as the solar eclipse moved across North America, but one camera caught something no one expected. Just as the moon covered the sun, a fast-moving object sliced through the clouds. It was sharp, quick, and easy to miss, except this moment was caught clearly on video. The shape didn't match any bird, plane, or drone. It looked more like a disc or cigar, flashing once before vanishing. Some shouted in shock, others stood silent. Experts called it a glitch or shadow, but nothing was ever confirmed. Whatever passed through that sky wasn't part of the show.
What is that?
Cloud cover. After finishing a long trail walk, a man started heading back, but something in the sky made him stop. Above him, a few clouds didn't look natural. Their shapes were nearly the same, floating in a pattern that felt too perfect. They weren't moving like normal clouds either. It felt more like something was hiding, pretending to blend into the sky. He stood still, watching with confusion. The more he stared, the stronger the thought became. Maybe the sky wasn't empty. Maybe he had just seen something he was never meant to notice. Vanishing Light. A traveler was passing near a deserted area in Nevada when he noticed something unusual in the middle of the desert. There was a strange, shiny object. Its shape seemed to shift as it grew larger and smaller. It glowed brightly, far too intense to be anything normal. He stopped to observe it, unsure of what he was seeing. Then, without warning, the light began to shrink rapidly until it vanished completely. Just like that, the object disappeared, leaving behind no trace, almost as if nothing had happened at all. Unexpected encounter. A man was exploring the mountains of Colorado when something completely unexpected happened. Out of nowhere, a group of flying objects rushed past him at full speed. Before he could process what he'd seen, a massive disc-shaped UFO appeared. It moved slowly, calmly gliding right in front of him, completely unbothered by his presence. The whole scene didn't feel like a rare visit or something new. Everything about it felt strangely settled, as if they'd been there for a long time, living near those mountains in a secret base no one ever noticed. Silent Diamond. The UFO, I'm about to show you, I'm sure you've never seen anything like it before. While exploring the woods in Peru, a man was shocked by what he saw. Right in the middle of the forest, a strange diamond-shaped UFO was hovering just above the ground. It slowly moved in circles, completely silent. There was no sound, just pure mystery floating in front of him. Nervous, but curious, he got closer to observe it. Then suddenly, the object disappeared, like it was never there in the first place. Liberty Mystery. A helicopter crew flying near the Statue of Liberty noticed something strange above the monument. A bright light was blinking in the sky, steady and silent. It didn't look like a plane or drone. The glow had a different feel to it, something hard to explain. The crew filmed the moment and later shared it online. Once the footage spread, theories followed. Some said it was a sign of another dimension opening above the statue. Others believed it pointed to alien activity. Pyramid glow. The mystery of the pyramids has never been fully solved, and what one tourist saw only made things more confusing. While passing by, he witnessed glowing objects suddenly rising from near the pyramid and stopping right above it. These weren't ordinary lights or anything familiar. They looked otherworldly, glowing in a way that felt powerful and strange. It almost seemed like some kind of hidden energy or unknown presence was connected to the pyramids. Secret lab. Recently, a strange video leaked out of Germany, believed to be from the 1940s. It showed a hidden lab where a massive UFO with what looked like maintenance work happening around it. The markings on its surface didn't match anything human-made, especially not in that era. They hinted at something far beyond our world. Many believe it points to a time when Germany may have had contact with extraterrestrial beings. Whatever was happening in that lab, it looked less like science and more like something never meant for this planet. Crashing surprise. Something was falling from the sky fast, low, and headed straight for the Utah mountains. A tourist nearby looked up just in time. At first, he thought it was a crashing plane, but as it dropped closer, the shape didn't match any aircraft he'd ever seen. It was round, smooth, and moving like nothing man-made. The flying saucer hit the rocky slopes hard and vanished behind the ridge. He stood there, stunned and silent. He kept it to himself, but the image of that crash still comes back to him like it happened yesterday. Strange wreckage.
A farmer from Ituna says while out working in the field, he and his eldest son came across an interesting piece of debris. The pair say they are unsure what it is or how it ended up on their land.
Earlier this year, a farming family in Ituna, Saskatchewan, came across something that left them stunned. Scattered across their field were massive, burned metal pieces, some taller than a person. The strange materials didn't match anything local, and the shapes were too odd to explain. Locals believe this was no ordinary crash. Many suspect it was debris from a UFO, something not of this world. What's more mysterious is how quickly unknown officials arrived, quietly collecting the pieces without much explanation. Whatever fell from the sky that day, its origins remain a secret, and possibly not human.
For a far distance, we thought it was garbage, and then after that, we got closer, and we don't know what it is.
Inside Roswell. What if one of history's most debated UFO events really happened, and the truth was hidden in plain sight? In 2014, Giorgio Tsoukalos visited Walker Air Force Base in Roswell, New Mexico, where he was granted rare access to the hangar said to have held the wreckage from the 1947 Roswell UFO crash. Guided by the city's mayor, he stepped into the room where, according to long-held claims, extraterrestrial beings were examined after being recovered. Debris from the crash was allegedly moved to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, sealed away under government secrecy. Major Jesse Marcel, the first officer at the crash site, once told his family that what he found wasn't man-made and could change humanity forever. Pyramid mystery. Over the quiet desert in Egypt, something massive moved through the sky, shaped exactly like a pyramid. It didn't make a sound. No wind, no engines, just slow, steady movement above the sand. One tourist spotted it and couldn't believe his eyes. The object looked like it was scanning the ground, as if it were searching for something buried deep below. The shape made it easy to mistake for part of the landscape. Maybe that was the point. And if something like this is flying over ancient land, maybe it never really left. It just learned how to blend in. Wreckage discovery. In a small town in France, locals were stunned to find strange flying objects lying in nearby fields. Unsure of what they were looking at, they quickly called the authorities. Soon, experts arrived and confirmed that these were no ordinary crafts. The material and design were far beyond anything known. Described as otherworldly, the objects were immediately taken away for further examination. But after that day, no official report was ever released. What those objects were, or where they went, remains a mystery that the locals still whisper about. Night ship collision. Thomas Preziosi, an experienced pilot, had just taken off from Mobile, Alabama in his Cessna when he radioed something unusual. He sounded alarmed. An unknown object was coming straight toward him. He asked to change course, then went silent.
He saw what looked like another plane in the sky. It was just confirming that that was another plane up there. And then all of a sudden, he's alarmed. He's panicked. Something is coming at him.
Minutes later, his plane crashed into Big Bateau Bay. The wreckage was scattered in pieces, some parts nearly vaporized.
The plane is not just demolished, it's almost vaporized.
No sign of another aircraft was ever found. Investigators recovered strange red marks and bits of metal they couldn't identify.
The most bizarre thing about this is that there are these strange red markings all over parts of the aircraft.
To this day, no one can explain what brought the plane down, but the strange clues left behind tell a story no one's been able to finish.
The NTSB suggested that whatever it hit was this color red, or had this red coating on it, and when it hit, it rubbed off on this guy's craft. They also found pieces of metal in the wings that didn't belong to the plane. So something metal, something red, but at the end of the day, a mystery.
Dangling in air. The sky over the city looked normal until something odd drifted into view. From his apartment window, a man spotted a saucer-shaped object shaking non-stop, like it was having trouble staying in the air. It didn't fly smooth or fast. It wobbled, like it could crash at any moment. He watched as it moved behind a nearby building and vanished. No sound, no sign. It wasn't the kind of thing you could explain the next day. It was the kind that stayed with you, quietly asking if you really saw what you think you did.
My mom is gone.
UFO Site.
I'm here at the UFO crash site, which hasn't been open to the public for 71 years. In 1947, a man by the name of Mac Brazel says that this is where he saw a UFO crash.
The public was finally allowed to visit the exact spot in New Mexico where the Roswell crash reportedly took place. For decades, this patch of land stayed off limits, hidden behind fences, guarded by silence, and surrounded by theories. Now, visitors can stand on the same soil where strange wreckage was once found. Pieces that, according to some, weren't built by human hands. No hidden objects were uncovered. No answers came forward. But for many who walked that ground, it felt like stepping into a chapter of a story the world still isn't ready to finish. Unknown flight. Thousands gathered inside the Baltimore Convention Center for a 3-day event called Alien Con. The main purpose for the event was to focus on one bold idea, that intelligent beings from other worlds have been visiting Earth for thousands of years.
I would like to ask this audience at this Alien Con, how many of you have had missing time and abduction experience?
When a speaker asked the crowd how many had experienced abductions or seen strange lights, hands shot up. One man described a being whose eyes turned black and whose nose shifted into a beak.
He looked at me, he tipped his head down and he looked up. At that moment, his eyes went black, his nose started to turn almost beak-like.
Another spoke of waking up on a table, unsure what had been done to him.
I had no idea of what they were doing. I later found may have been extracting sperm.
A woman mentioned a reptilian who regularly visited her until he sensed she was infertile.
The reptilian who visits me on a regular basis. Apparently he realized I was infertile and he backed away.
And just like that, the questions grew heavier. What if they aren't just studying us, but harvesting something far more personal? Military sky mystery.
What other secret technology is the U.S. military working on now? And could they be working with allies from another planet? According to one foreign government, this video proves.
A strange triangle-shaped object was caught hovering above a restricted military base. It had 3 glowing lights and moved slowly, silently, completely, unlike any known aircraft. One soldier recorded the moment, and that footage soon began circulating across the globe. Experts later analyzed the video and found no signs of tampering. There was no engine noise, no visible propulsion, just a steady, silent drift through secured airspace. The fact that it appeared directly over a high-security zone, that alone says more than enough.
So the fact that there was a triangle UFO on this aircraft carrier, that really sent the UFO community into a frenzy.
Combat Zone Orbee. During a recent Senate hearing, the Pentagon shared a video captured by a U.S. military drone flying over a combat zone in the Middle East. The footage showed a shiny, metallic orb racing across the sky at high speed. Experts from the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office said they still don't know what it was. Some orbs turn out to be balloons, but this one didn't behave like anything they've seen before. It's now one of hundreds of unexplained cases under review. Green Visitor. In Gretna, Louisiana, around 4:30 a.m., a Ring doorbell camera recorded a glowing green fireball streaking across the sky. It didn't flash and vanish like a regular meteor. It moved steadily, with a smooth, almost guided motion. The video spread quickly, raising questions online. Was it a meteor or something stranger? Even AccuWeather shared the clip, and the American Meteorological Society began investigating. For now, it remains unidentified. It's one of those sky events that shows how little we actually understand about what's flying above us. Mysterious lightning. Late at night, a man was walking near the woods when he noticed something strange in the sky. A red light was coming down from above, and at first, it looked like a small unknown object. But within seconds, everything changed. The small object transformed into a huge beam of light, shifting its shape again and again. It didn't stay the same for even a moment. Feeling uneasy, the man decided not to stay any longer. He quietly left the area, probably the smartest choice he could have made. Midnight Encounter. It was quiet outside, so a man stepped out for some fresh air. That's when he noticed a strange blue light spreading across the sky. It wasn't from a streetlight or a plane, it came from above, steady and bright. As he looked up, he saw a flying object, but its shape kept changing, like it couldn't stay solid. Then something even stranger happened. A glowing portal opened in the sky. The object moved into it and disappeared. No sound, no trace, just a moment that made him question everything he believed. San Diego Tic Tac.
Two of the pilots involved in the Tic Tac incident, Commander David Fravor and Lieutenant Commander Alex Dietrich, this object under the waves, and this object was about the size of a Boeing 737.
While flying off the coast of San Diego, Navy pilots recorded something impossible. A smooth, white, oval-shaped object, later described as a Tic Tac, was hovering just above the ocean. It made no sound, had no wings or visible engines, and moved with unbelievable speed. In seconds, it went across the sky and vanished from view. The pilots watched in disbelief, unable to explain what they had just witnessed.
My right-hand side, I am watching them on a radar screen that gives information on altitude and speed and heading, and seeing what I saw. It's impossible for anything that we own or have created to withstand the G-forces that would be created from doing any type of thrust like what this Tic Tac was doing.
To this day, that moment remains one of the most mysterious encounters ever captured on military cameras.
We've all heard of UFOs because they fly in our atmosphere, but what happens if they can hit the oceans and go underwater? These are USOs, unidentified submerged objects. They could be even, perhaps, extraterrestrial.
And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. In a small town in Mexico, locals saw something crash into the fields. When they went to check, they found a strange object they couldn't understand. Soon, authorities arrived and confirmed it was a flying saucer, something not made by human hands. They closed off the area, examined the wreck, and then took it away. People were left with questions and fear. Was it a sign from beings beyond Earth? No one knows for sure. But after what happened, one thing feels possible. Maybe aliens could arrive someday too. Only time will tell.